let's talk about the quarterbacks in this game. Really fun matchup. Damon Williams has been impressive through the first 3 games. Really impressive. And Julian Sayinjay still feels like there's another gear. Still feels like, he's looking for that signature moment where he arrives as a potential superstar in college football. This game presents that opportunity. I don't have any question about that because I'm not someone that's going to, undersell the importance of going on the road for the first time, how hard it is to win at Husky Stadium, and the fact that Washington is a good team. I don't know that they're a great team, but they're certainly a good team. And if Julian Sayin goes out and goes for 280 and 3 touchdowns and no turnovers in this game, I think that'll turn a lot of heads across the country. Because right now, I think most people's impression of him is, he got carried by his defense in the Texas game and made a couple of throws.
That's a good way to look at it, because if you just looked at the box score and you just looked at the stats from both teams, Texas and Ohio State, you would assume that he just rolled the defense the entire time. He has been accurate, so accurate this year. Spencer and Roman, you guys know the kind of quarterback that he is and what he's been this year. This is a big step for a guy making his 4th start in college football. It's his first true road game he's played this year, and you're going out there to a place that's going to be a hostile environment. Some say, Spencer, it's the loudest stadium in the country. I didn't say that.
I don't know. I've heard conflicting reports about that.
That's what I've heard, is that Husky Stadium
conflicting reports
louder than Austin Stadium.
There are numbers to back this up.
I don't think the data is settled on that.
But I do think, though, for Julius Sayin, that 280 and 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, that's all he needs to do. He doesn't need to go in there and throw for 450 or 500 yards and throw for 6 touchdowns. No, the 280 and 3 touchdowns, if that actually happens, if that's his stat line, that's a very good day. If he stays consistent and putting the ball right on the money like he has done over and over and over this year, you're going to walk out of this game and think, oh, Julius Sayin, he's a guy. And I think he's a guy, but he has to go out there and prove it in Big Ten play. Had a really great start to his career as Ohio State's QB1. I think that trend continues on Saturday.
Roman, am I the only one that when Jay said this is a guy was thinking about Drax when the Guardians find Thor in Infinity War? No, you were a dude. This is a man.
So, no, I was thinking, now here's a guy, but I do love your thought process there.
Thank you. That's right where my head went. You are a dude. This is a man. Julian Sayin can
today during this show, but it happened anyway.
Julian Sayin can become a man this weekend in Seattle. Roman, Damon Williams has sneakily been playing really good football. For those of that have been paying attention, it's me. I've been paying attention because I think more or less is kind of my job here on the show, but. This is the biggest test for him as well, and probably why he doesn't have a lot more respect or name recognition nationally, and why some people still think his name is Desmond when it is not. It's because, he barely played last year, and he's been really good, again, in 3, low-profile games this year. Well, here you go. If this is the guy that a lot of Washington fans hope, and I see the potential. I mean, he's twitchy. He's got a good arm. He's incredibly accurate. He does a lot of things well, and a lot of people will be watching him for the first time in their careers. This is about as tough of a test, other than the fact that it's at home, as you're going to find defensively.
Oh, absolutely. It's one of the things where, it's a traditional dual threat kind of thing where people are going to say, oh, well, he's a great athlete, right? Like he might legitimately be the best athlete on the field. That is how fast and how twitchy and how good he is inside the pocket, outside the pocket. You can go watch any number of games outside of the Oregon game last year where he does a tremendous job.
We're not counting that one. That doesn't.
Well, no, because of the offensive line. No, because of the offensive line. Okay. But you can truly go back and just watch him just truly magically escape sacks at so many different points of time. So people are going to look at him, because I've already seen this, and say, oh, well, he's a runner first, right? Like, no, this is a guy who can stand in the pocket. He's tremendously accurate. He completed 84% of his passes against Washington State. Like, this is a dude who is highly accurate at all points of time, at all levels of the field. He's got a 75, somewhere in that ballpark, career completion percentage. Like, he is truly like one of the more accurate quarterbacks in the country. And I think that that's something that people are going to take away from this game is, oh, this guy legitimately is the definition of a dual threat quarterback. Jedd Fisch will call him the fastest player on the team if you ever ask him about what kind of athlete he is. And when he gets in the open field, he really can show that. And I think Ohio State certainly has a lot of ways to match up very well with him. And this is where I think that if this game comes down to one possession, one of the things that can, and in my opinion, will keep this game somewhat close is DeMond making off-structure plays with both his arm and his legs.
I'm really excited for this one, and I'm starting to nail down my pick in my head. So let's get to a little early Saturday selections action. Are you guys good with that? Making score predictions here. So Ohio State getting tested on the road for the first time. Washington being tested for the first time. Period this season. Now, the over-under is set at the moment, according to our friends over at FanDuel, official sportsbook sponsor here at the Locked On Network, at 52.5. I don't know about you guys. I lean towards the under. Now, I think both these quarterbacks can make some plays, but I don't think Sayin is going to hit his full potential in this spot. You are going to have a loud, and I mean loud environment. Jury's out on whether it's loudest in the country, but you're going to have a difficult environment to be going into with a young quarterback for the first time. And then conversely, you're going up against an Ohio State defense that, man, they can just play. They can flat out play. They are well coached. They have got talent. Caleb Downs is an absolute beast. So I'd take the under if I were so inclined over at FanDuel. I'm taking Ohio State to win. I think Washington covers 8.5, though. I think we're going no field goals, 21-14. There's going to be a missed field goal in this game that is the reason somebody, Ohio State, doesn't cover. I'm going, nope, that didn't feel right. Rolling it back. Hold on. 20-14. 20-14, Ohio State wins, Washington covers. Jay?
Spencer. I agree with you with one thing. And one thing only with your little comments there. I am going with the under of 52.5. I think that it's going to be closer to 52.5 than you have your 20-14 or 21-14, whichever number you want to choose for Ohio State. I still think this game is an Ohio State game where the defense is going to do everything they can to slow down Washington's offense, which is difficult. I have been really impressed and more impressed than I thought I was going to be with DeMond Williams and the way he's able to move the ball, how quick his decisions are, and when he puts his foot to the ground and goes, he gets there very quickly. I got Ohio State winning 34-17. To me, in this game, and Roman, we talked a little bit about on the crossover, I think Washington's pass defense will be tested. And I think Jeremiah Smith, knowing that Denzel Boston's going to get a lot of attention and get a lot of publicity because of how good he is, I think it's going to add fuel to Jeremiah Smith's fire. And I'll make a bold prediction on this show. I think Jeremiah Smith goes for 3 touchdowns on Saturday, and Ohio State wins 34-17.
Whoa, 3 touchdowns. Roman, you going to sit there and take that?
Well, like I said to Jay on our crossover.
Oh, I know what's about to happen here.
What's going to happen, Spencer? Tell me.
I know what you're going to say.
Tell me what I'm going to say.
Go ahead. You're going to mention some game from the past.
No, I wasn't actually.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah, that's what I thought. No, like I said to Jay, if there is any cornerback in the country, like if you built a corner in a laboratory to try to stop Jeremiah Smith, it would look like Tacario Davis. 6'4", 200 pounds, really great in press coverage. I think that is just one of the biggest things that I'm going to be watching in this game. And he's one of the biggest reasons that I think Washington can keep this game close. He came to UW to play in this Ryan Walters scheme because of games like this. He knows he's going to play a lot of one-on-one coverage. Is it easy to stop Jeremiah Smith in one-on-one coverage? No, it's not, Spencer, since you want me to bring it up. I know Oregon tried that.
I just thought you were going to.
I really wasn't going to until you said that. Yeah, so this is on you. But I look at that matchup, and I'm so excited to see what it's going to look like because this is what Ryan Walters wants to do. He wants to trust his cornerbacks to play out on an island and try to just contain for 2-3 seconds while this 5, sometimes 6-man pressure that he's going to throw at Julian Sayin hits home. Will it? I'm curious to see that because as we have talked about, this is a very big step up in competition from Washington State, UC Davis, and Colorado State. but I think UW has everything it needs to keep this game close. I am a huge jinx, so there is absolutely no way I can take UW to win in this stamp because I will jinx it if that happens. So with that being said, I do think that, I think that the under is going to hit. So give me 28-24 Ohio State as of right now.
There
I'm
you
a
have
jinx.
it.
I'm putting that out there.
By the way, I'm 4 games under 500 with my spread picks this year, so I apologize in advance. Roman. Chase Stevens, Locked On Buckeyes. Roman Tomashoff, Locked On Huskies. Great as always, guys. Appreciate everyone listening. I'll see you next time, and until then, hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day.